Hello, my name is Tracy Brown. I'm the president of Riverkeeper, which is based in Ossining, and I'm co-chair of the Westchester Coalition for Clean Water. I'm here tonight with fellow members of that coalition to provide comments related to chronic sewage pollution taking place in our communities. You'll be hearing from several of those members shortly from across the county addressing different parts of this pollution crisis. We're also joined by coalition members who won't be speaking tonight, including representatives from the Federated Conservationists of Westchester County, the Center for Urban Rivers at BZAC, and Groundwork Hudson Valley. Westchester County has a dirty secret, and that is the fact that we are not treating all of the sewage that is generated by our communities. Some of that sewage gets into our water by design at places like Yonkers wastewater treatment plant, which still relies on antiquated sewage infrastructure that dumps partially treated sewage into the Hudson River every time it rains. Some of that sewage gets into the water by mistake because ownership of the infrastructure is divided among residents, municipalities, business owners, the county. The first group, property owners, has a very low awareness of the infrastructure and their role in maintaining it. Some of the pollution also happens because of the neglect of our municipalities, who know they own the collection infrastructure, but do not make the needed investments to keep it in good working order, sometimes due to lack of funds and competing priorities, sometimes due to a low awareness also of what is required to keep our pipes and pumps from failing. The Westchester Coalition for Clean Water is working to raise literacy around the county and to promote achievable solutions, and that's what brings us here tonight. We are seeking to increase focus and investment on our wastewater and stormwater systems so we can have cleaner water, more beach days, and more places to safely get into that water. Access to our public waterways aren't really a nice-to-have luxury anymore. It's becoming more of a necessity as climate change brings more heat waves to our communities each year. We know that communities want to get in these waterways. We've seen plans for future beaches from a number of the communities you represent. But the underlying investment that is needed is in the sewage infrastructure. And we cannot get to those dreams of more swimming and more beaches in our open waterways unless we understand and address that chronic source of pollution. So tonight you're going to hear some specific requests from our groups that are our recommendations for making our waterways cleaner. These are proactive approaches to managing wastewater and stormwater that provide multiple benefits, including lower sewer rates for our residents and better stormwater management to help address localized flooding issues. Our coalition is focused on promoting sewer consolidation for our collection infrastructure and needed upgrades to the largest wastewater treatment plant in our county and the second largest on the Hudson River, the Yonkers plants. We also have comments about monitoring and notification to the public, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you for your time and attention to this issue.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Josh Pearson. I'm a resident of Sleepy Hollow, and I, like many, many people, recreate in the Hudson River. I swim in the Hudson River, and I kayak on the Hudson River. I want to speak about how the Yonkers wastewater treatment plant is the second largest treatment plant on the Hudson River, serving 500,000 residents who live in the river towns, as well as parts of the cities of Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, and White Plains. This plant relies on an antiquated combined sewer system that is designed to carry both sewage from toilets and stormwater from the street drains to the plant. When the sewage system exceeds its capacity, which it does in most rainstorms, these pipes bypass full treatment of the plant, and the sewage is discharged to the Hudson after basic screening for solids and the addition of chlorine. This is called partial treatment, and the result is unsafe, polluted river water. These partial treatment discharges are called combined sewage overflows, or CSOs for short. In recent years, the CSO discharges in Yonkers have contributed between 128 million gallons to over 1 billion gallons of sewage to the Hudson River each year. One of the largest CSO discharge pipes is located near the Yonkers Paddling and Rowing Club, the Center for the Urban River at BZAC, and other points where the public routinely accesses the river. While the city of Yonkers is pursuing flooding studies that may result in some reduction in CSOs by reducing stormwater in the system, There is no systematic county or city plan to reduce or eliminate these discharges. Other communities along the Hudson River with CSOs have been implementing CSO long-term control plans for 10 to 15 years. Westchester County developed a plan and made investments to reduce the CSO discharges in the 1980s, but no additional projects have been planned or implemented since those investments from 40 years ago. This combined system did not serve our communities so well in the 80s, and today, with increased rain, increased public use of the river, and with communities, including Yonkers, calling for new river beaches, ignoring this antiquated wastewater treatment system is not a realistic or acceptable option. Right now, the New York DEC is reviewing and revising the discharge permit for the Yonkers plant, with public comment on a new draft permit anticipated for later this year or early 2027. Today, we are calling on Westchester County to commit to developing and implementing a new CSO long-term control plan, jointly with the City of Yonkers and the other municipalities in the Yonkers Sewer District. It is high time to conduct a thorough study of this plant's collection and treatment system and implement projects that can reduce the chronic pollution coming from this plant and harming our communities. Thank you.
Faye Serafika.
Hi, my name is Faye Serafika. I'm a resident of Sleepy Hollow and a member of the Westchester Coalition for Clean Water and co-producer and founder of the Sleepy Hollow Mermaid Festival. You've just heard about the outsized impact that the wastewater treatment plant in Yonkers has on the health of the Hudson River and the Westchester residents who look to the Hudson for recreational opportunities, including sailing, paddling, and swimming. When this plant fails, the consequences for our communities are serious, with both immediate impacts as well as long-term damage to the narrative of a river in recovery, which is an engine for the vitality of our river towns. We had such a plant failure on July 3rd, which resulted in the Hudson River being closed to the public for 10 days. The initial closing was warranted based on the 39 million gallons of untreated sewage that was dumped into the river. However, according to the monitoring data collected in Yonkers by the lab at the BZAC Center and data collected further north by the Hudson Stream Conservancy using the county lab, we know the sewage pollution was not still present in the river by the third day after the spill. The water quality had in fact returned to normal and the river access could and should have been restored. During the days after the failure at the plant, the county was unresponsive to calls for information on the state of the river and requests to reopen public access. The county did not provide the daily testing that residents expect in response to pollution of this scale, even in the face of a holiday weekend and extreme heat conditions. We did not hear from Westchester County that they had confirmed that the water was clean again until July 14th, 11 days after the plant failure. As the organizer of a very popular Hudson River-focused event, the Sleepy Hollow Mermaid Festival, the lack of expedient and publicly available information about the plant failure and resulting pollution made it very hard for us to plan our event and likely suppressed public attendance. We also worked closely with a stand-up paddleboard business that uses the Hudson in Sleepy Hollow, and they had to cancel all of their classes and offerings while they waited for an all-clear message from the county that was never delivered. This incident highlights several problems in the maintenance and operations of our sewage infrastructure. The first is a state of disrepair and poor planning that allows for these types of incidents to happen. The second is a casual attitude towards testing and public notification after pollution has occurred from our County Department of Health. We are asking for the County Department of Health to conduct daily testing of the river after a pollution-based closure until clean conditions have been restored, and for the county to communicate with the public when conditions are once again safe so we are not kept from the riverfront for longer than is needed. Thank you.